welcome to this episode of Fulham Fan News. Thank you very much for watching the first episode. If you haven't yet, obviously check it out. Tonight's episode will be about transfer rumours, which is what Fulham Fan News at Fulham Transfer is all about. Tries to keep you up to date with all the information regarding Fulham and transfer news. Tonight I'm joined by Kieran. Kieran, it's your first
Hello.
appearance on the show. How are you? How are you
Hi.
feeling?
I'm very good. Buzzing to be on and get started with some good transfers. Plenty of rumours out there. And yeah,
Yeah, although the window has only been open for less than a week, we're already seeing some crazy rumours regarding Fulham Football Club. And obviously, we're all fully aware that the certain midfield dynamo that we have, João Palhinha, is wanted by pretty much everybody on the planet, and it's
at
going
quite
to
high
be tough to keep hold of
valuations
him.
as well, it seems.
Yeah, crazy valuations. Yeah, just before we came on tonight, we've seen a new one of 90 million, which is more in the remit of what I think we should be looking at, to be honest. But yeah, we'll just get into it. We'll crack on with some rumours and hopefully give you a bit more insight into those players that Fulham are being linked with. So the first transfer rumour that I want to talk about tonight is Demarai Gray. He's an Everton winger slash forward. He's a bit of a nearly man, in my opinion. He's had moments where he's been linked to big clubs. He's been at Bayer Leverkusen, which, in my opinion, is a very big club, and also he's shown glimpses of what he is about. So this one does excite me. It is one that I think that obviously Marco must know him quite well as a player from Premier League years. And yeah, it's one that I think if Fulham can get it done at the right price, is one that I'd like to see happen because we've seen Marco do work wonders with players that he's signed personally. So yeah, Kieran, how do you feel about the Demarai Gray link?
Yeah, I mean he's a very exciting player, if you as you said, and I think of course his valuation will be important in terms of getting the transfer done. I think a sensible price is needed. I mean, on transfer market, he's valued around 20 million, but I think that can obviously be negotiated differently, especially because of Everton's. Yes, they survived the relegation this season, but will they be looking to strengthen? Not really. I don't personally think. I think they would be favourites to be going down next season after a second, only just survival. But yeah, he seems like a very promising player. 26 years old. I think he's still got a few years left in the tank, and under Marco Silva, as you said, anything he can make anyone do anything. Um, so yeah, he's been fairly successful this season. He's made 33 appearances for Everton, scored 4 goals and 1 assist, and of course he's well known for scoring belters and screamers. Of course, the one notable one this season was against Man City, and if he can do them against Man City, then I'm sure we'll happily take him. Um, so yeah, it seems like a very exciting player. Someone I'd definitely like to see in a Fulham shirt. Definitely to bolster our attacking options on the left wing. And yeah, hopefully we can get it done because we need to see him in a Fulham shirt.
Yeah, definitely. He's not had the greatest time at Everton, I don't think, and I think Sean Dyche doesn't fancy him very much either because he didn't make many appearances towards the end of the season. He's not really a Sean Dyche type of player. He's more of a flair player, the sort of player that's going to get you off your seat. So um, I agree with you in terms of their financial situation may help us this way, but also I have seen today that there's potential that Neil Maupay may be going to Saudi Arabia for astronomical fees. So yeah, it's just Saudi Arabia coming into the equation. It is beginning to, I think, change the market. I think
Yeah,
that we'll see a lot of clubs that didn't have much money suddenly have a lot of money, and a lot of clubs sell, let's say, average players because Neil Maupay is an average player for stupid money to the Saudi league. So yeah, I think that's going to play havoc with the actual transfer window over here, and it'll be interesting to see who comes in for who regarding that. But Demarai Gray is definitely one that I personally think would be a good addition to this Fulham team. I think the way we attack, the way we win the ball high, I think he'd be one that would definitely do well in a Marco Silva system. The next target I'd like to talk about is plays in Germany, Belgian international Sebastian Bornauw. Is a centre half, and obviously we're aware that Fulham are in the market for a centre half. Tosin has made it very clear that he's not staying, which is a bit sad because he had a very good end to the season. But if you're not going to stay, then obviously you got to move on. Um, so we've got Tim Ream, who's obviously broken his arm, but he's getting on in years, and
He's a warrior.
Fulham, yeah, yeah, definitely. But we need to replace these guys, and Sebastian Bornauw is one that excites me, to be honest. I think for the price tag that is being touted around 10 million pounds, very respectable price tag for a full Belgium international. I think it's one that could happen because also in the last couple of days he's changed his agent in the view to push for a Premier League move. Fulham seem to be shopping at Wolfsburg quite a lot because they've been linked with Patrick Wimmer, they've been linked with Sebastian Bornauw, and recently Asta Vrancic as well. So
And last year, wasn't
yeah,
it? Kevin Mbabu as well. Wasn't
and
he?
Kevin and Barbie came last year. So maybe
Yeah.
there's something in the water there between us and Wolfsburg. But yeah, he's very talented, big centre half, can play out from the back, good in the air, strong on the ball. And recently, I spoke with Ronan Murphy, who covers the Bundesliga, who said that he would fit the Premier League like a glove. So hopefully, that's one that may begin to happen a bit more now that all the internationals are out of the way. Players will be coming back from holidays soon, and hopefully the transfer window itself can start moving. Kieran, do you know much about Sebastian Bornauw?
I don't know too much about him, but of course, I think after what you've just said there, he sounds like a fairly experienced player. I know Wolfsburg have been in the Europa League a fair few times, including this season. So that it shows that he does have the quality to play at a high level, which I think if we're definitely going to push onto Europe this season or this season, whichever in for the next season, it's definitely something we should be looking towards. Especially when it comes to bolstering our defensive options as well. We know that Tosin could be on the way out shortly. Tim Ream will be making his recovery over pre-season after his broken arm, and Diop is obviously still a defensive option. So I think he'll definitely fit into our system. Hopefully, he can work wonders under Silva and really help us move forward in a new season. Because I think the defensive pairings need to kind of. We're not. I'm not saying there's no belief in Tim Ream, but can he do it for another season? That is a question that's yet to be answered.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. He's obviously a little bit older. He's obviously broken his arm, so that's in a way that's not as bad injury as it could have been. If it had been his leg, then maybe we'd be looking at a different story here. But I think because it's his arm, he could come back and continue the way he was. And I think he's such a key part to the way we play out from the back, from Ream to Robinson, and how quickly we get out and up the pitch with Robinson. So someone who comes in has to be the right player to come in, and that leads me on to my next transfer target, which is Josip Sutalo, who plays for Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia. He's a Croatia international, and I watched him the other day against Spain in the Nations League final, and he is a monster. He is a brilliant footballer on the ball, but he's also a very good defender. Much like many Eastern Europeans, he just enjoys defending. And also, I noticed that he can also play and has played previously a few times at left back. So, although he's right footed, he could play either side of the centre halves and he can also play left back if necessary. So, he's a versatile option who could come in. I like this one. I think he's a young centre half who has a lot of scope to progress and obviously use Fulham as a stepping stone if necessary to get to somewhere bigger because he has said that he wants to play Champions League football in in the top European leagues. And yeah, I've seen a fee of around £20 million for him. So another one that very exciting link. So yeah, Kieran, do you know much about Josip Sutalo?
Again, touching on my previous point, Dynamo Zagreb, they've played Champions League football before. And as you said, if he's a versatile defender who loves defending, what's not to love, especially with the Champions League experience under his belt as well. I think again he can help us push on higher and further this season. Again, another Tosin replacement should he leave, or alternatively another attack, another defensive option to add to our options. Of course, he's had 27 appearances and he's got 2 goals under his belt as well for Dynamo Zagreb this season as well. So that's quite promising. It shows that he's quite he's a player that will like to get in the box if in the situation of corners, get his and just try and add to the tally. And if he loves defending, I'm sure he'll fit in with Polina, who loves tackling as well. So yeah, he's certainly a player I'd be looking to see join the club, and someone I'd be excited to see playing a Fulham shirt next season.
Yeah, he's obviously very good in the air. I think that's why he offers something in the other box as well. He's good in the air, so he can attack set pieces. And obviously with Pereira coming back from his injury, that will be, another quiver to our bow, really, another opportunity to add to our set piece goals, which we're obviously very good at. We work on very well. Um, I have seen that he's linked with Olympique Lyonnais, Arsenal, and Galatasaray as well. So that one may not happen, but we're here to talk about all the rumours. So hopefully something happens there. We will
Keep
see.
our fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Just to touch on another one, there is obviously Igor Julio, who played for Fiorentina in the recent Conference League final, and I know a lot of people have said he got done by Jared Bowen for the goal, but I don't think he can be blamed for 3 minutes being on the pitch. Um, he's left-footed. He would be an ideal replacement for Tim Ream, and that one seems to be moving a bit quicker than the rest. So that's one to keep an eye on. Lorenzo Laporte, who is covering that for Fiorentina for Space Viola, is all over that one, and yeah, he's pretty confident Fulham is set to make an offer when the player returns from his holiday in the coming week. So yeah, that's another one. Definitely looks like Fulham are looking to strengthen that defensive area early in the window, which is obviously music to everyone's ears. So the final player I want to talk about is Fred. Obviously, we saw a couple of weeks ago after the game against Man United, everyone was, oh, what are they chatting about between Marco and Fred? And the next day, the link came out that Fulham were interested in Fred. Now, today, there's another link that's come out saying that Manchester United have actually put Fred up for sale. They're saying £20 million, which, in my opinion, is a little bit too much for a 30-year-old who's in the last year of his contract. I personally think Fulham should try and negotiate that down to maybe 15, something around there. But he'd be a brilliant addition to the Fulham team. We saw from that defence splitting pass where he took out half of our team to put Bruno Fernandes in for their winner against us on the last day of the season. He's got that ability. He's another player who will put his foot in. He's another player who will win the ball high. He's another Portuguese-speaking Brazilian who can add to Marco's team. I really don't know what there isn't to like about this particular link.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a very exciting option, which we could hopefully bring in. Obviously, the rumours are all there, and I really do hope we can negotiate a good price for him because he is a very, very good player. I mean, I watched him in the FA Cup final against Man City, and though they did lose, he did seem like one of the brightest players on the pitch. And of course, he has been criticised in the past for being slightly inconsistent, but I think he's moving past that now, and especially under Eric Ten Hag in the previous season with Man United, he has gone from strength to strength. And if they're putting up for a sale, I don't see any reason why Fulham shouldn't go in for him. If they want to bolster their midfield options in the coming season. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists for United this season as well. probably, and many more in other competitions as well. And I think he's a very versatile player, who'd be a brilliant addition to Polinia and Reed and Pereira if you're classing as a midfielder in that area. I think I just really hope we can negotiate him a better price than 20 million, but we'll see what happens. But I definitely want to see him hopefully play for Fulham next season.
Yeah, I must admit I haven't seen any bad or negative comments regarding Fred coming to Fulham, to be honest. And to see Fulham linked with players like Fred, he's played in the Champions League, he's played for Brazil, he's played in the Premier League, he's won trophies. This is a big signing. If Fulham can get him over the line, this would be a marquee signing. This would be a very big statement as well that we want to stay where we are or push on to further into the European positions.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. I don't think he would be coming to replace anyone. I think he'd be coming to battle the likes of Reed and Palhinha, um, to
And
try
Lukic.
and yeah, Lukic as well. Yeah, I mean we haven't even spoken about Lukic, who I think will step up next season. I think he'll be a much better
Yeah,
player for us next season. I think he needs that full pre-season under his belt in the Premier League with the team,
definitely.
and I definitely think he's a very good player. I said a couple of weeks ago to someone I was talking to that he's an excellent player. He's just not hit the ground running, which is understandable when you move from Italy. It's a much slower game in Italy to the Premier League. But I do think he'll adapt. And yeah, if we can negotiate a decent deal for Fred, I'd be very, very happy to see that one get done. I just wanted to touch on another one that's come out tonight, Max Aarons from Norwich. I've noticed that that's now doing the rounds as well. I do remember we were linked with him last summer as well, but for stupid fees. I was seeing some fees crazy, like 30, 40 million. It appears that now Norwich are ready to let him go for 10 million. He's a player that I was very excited about last season, if we could have got him last season. Obviously, if you're going to pay 10 million for a player to come in at right back, you're probably expecting to start, right? So what happens there regarding Kenny Tete and Max Aarons? Would they rotate, or do you think maybe Kenny Tete would move on?
I mean, I'm hoping Kenny Tete remains because though Max Aarons is it would be a very good option. I do see him as a backup, because you can't bring in a new player and expect Tete to drop to the bench, especially if they're coming up from a championship club. And no doubt, Max Aarons is a great player, and I think if he came to Fulham, he'd be a brilliant backup option as a fullback. But I don't think he should overtake Tete with that starting position right from the off. I think if he had enough time to work under Silva, I think he could get up to speed, up to strength, and then slowly but surely get eased into that position and see how he does. But I can't see him dropping Tete straight away for a new signing, whether it's 10 million or not.
Yeah, I agree. I can't see Tete being dropped at all, to be honest, because if you look at his stats, he's one of the best right backs in the league. And yeah, he deservedly is Fulham's best right back. My question was really mainly around the fact that we're potentially spending £10 million on a backup option when that £10 million could go elsewhere. Um, Obviously, if we look at outs as well, um, you've got Anthony Robinson, who I've heard Newcastle again are looking at. I saw someone tweet earlier; it was quite funny. Man, give us Matty Target and 20 million, and you got a deal type thing. So um, I don't think Robinson. I think we need to keep him, to be honest, because he offers that outlet on the left hand side to get up the pitch really quickly, and he does have defensive lapses. But I think if it wasn't for the fact that he has those lapses and he struggles with crossing, although towards the end of last season he did get a lot better, um, that he wouldn't be a Fulham player anyway. He'd be playing for Manchester City. So yeah, I think we need to try and keep hold of our best players that we from last season and build around those players.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it'd be a shame if Robinson did leave because though as you say, he has had his lapses in concentration, and there have been a few mistakes there. He's been a player that has really come through with Fulham since joining us with our promotion under Parker, and he's thrived really. especially going from strength to strength last season. His crossing is getting better, and I think his pace is key to our attack. The way he can quickly latch onto loose balls and put them in the box is very impressive. And I think if he went to a bigger club, he'd end up being a bench warmer.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds fair enough, to be honest. Obviously, Manos Solomon as well. I'll just touch on that one. Is the report today is now that instead of after the international break, he's going to decide his future. He's now going to go have a 7-day holiday in Ibiza and then decide his future. So
Can't blame
maybe
him. It's
we'll find.
Ibiza.
Yeah, well, maybe maybe we'll finally find out what he's doing after his holiday. Um, yep. So all in all, it's been a really busy week for transfers for Fulham. The plan is obviously that we're going to try and keep you up to date with all of them as we go forward through the window. It's going to get busier. I'm sure next week, once all the players return from holidays and pre-season starts up, it's going to start really ramping up. We're going to start seeing some absolutely crazy rumours, and we're going to try and give you the best idea of what exactly is going on with those rumours from which sources as well, because some sources just aren't believable and other sources have some sort of credibility to them. Um, I also wanted to talk about Sergio Rico, um, just because obviously he had a horrific horse riding accident a month or so ago, and it looked really bad for the former Fulham goalkeeper. So everyone here just wants to say, you know, brilliant news that he's woken up from his coma and he recognizes his family, which shows that, he's still in there and hopefully he can make a recovery. Potentially, probably, in fact, won't play football again, but we've seen miracles happen before on football pitches, so you never know. But yeah, all of our, heartfelt prayers go out to
Mm,
Sergio Rico.
absolutely.
So that's it for tonight's episode. I just want to thank everyone for watching again. Yeah, if you can smash the like button, subscribe, follow at Fulham Transfer, just keep up to date with everything. Um, Also, if you're after any Fulham merchandise, we have a partnership with Foco UK, who do some fantastic Fulham merchandise. It's official merchandise as well. So yeah, I'll drop the link down in below, and hopefully you will find something on there that you enjoy. Kieran, thank you very much for joining me.
No
Hopefully I'll
worries.
see you next time.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the next one.
Brilliant. All right. Thank you very much. Cheers and goodbye.